Good morning, everyone. Today, I want to talk about something deceptively simple yet profoundly transformative. What you seek is seeking you. Have you ever found yourself chasing a dream, a purpose, or even just a sense of belonging, wondering if it's out there waiting for you? It's as if the world whispers to us that if we run fast enough, try hard enough, or want deeply enough, we might finally reach it. But here's the thing, what if the seeking isn't a one-way street? What if what we desire is also moving toward us? Searching for a home in U.S. clarity is often romanticized as a beautiful moment of revelation, the sudden insight that brings everything into focus. But here's the truth, clarity is rarely a lightning bolt. It's not a sudden epiphany that arrives neatly packaged. Instead, clarity is a process. It's a journey of peeling back layers of doubt, expectation, and distraction to uncover what truly matters to you. And here's the kicker, it takes immense courage to embark on that journey. Think about it. We live in a world that constantly bombards us with messages about what we should seek. Social media tells us to chase certain lifestyles. Society defines success in rigid terms. Family and culture often impose their own expectations on what our lives should look like. In the midst of all this noise, it takes courage to stop, reflect, and ask, what do I want? Clarity isn't about having all the answers, it's about daring to ask the right questions. Questions like, what lights me up? What aligns with my values? What brings me peace, joy, and fulfillment? What am I willing to let go of to make room for what matters? Asking these questions is brave because the answers can be uncomfortable. Sometimes they reveal that the life we're living doesn't align with the life we truly want. Sometimes they show us that the dreams we're chasing aren't actually our own. They're inherited from someone else's definition of success. And that's scary, isn't it? Because once we see the truth, we can't unsee it. Clarity demands action. It demands that we step out of the comfort zone of autopilot and into the discomfort of intentionality. It might mean making hard choices like saying no to opportunities that don't serve our purpose or stepping away from relationships that don't nurture our growth. But here's why clarity is worth it. Without it, we risk living a life that isn't truly ours. We risk spending years chasing goals that leave us feeling empty. Clarity is the foundation of alignment and ensures that our energy, time, and effort are directed towards something that genuinely fulfills us. Clarity is also an act of self-respect. It's about acknowledging that your desires and dreams are valid. It's about recognizing that you are worthy of pursuing a life that feels authentic to you. When you have clarity, you stop apologizing for what you want and start pursuing it unapologetically. Let's not forget that clarity isn't static. What you seek today might evolve as you grow. That's okay. Courage doesn't mean sticking to a fixed path. It means being willing to recalibrate when your heart whispers a new direction. So how do you cultivate clarity? You start by slowing down. You create space for self-reflection, journaling, meditating, or simply sitting with your thoughts. You ask yourself the hard questions, and you listen to the answers even when they scare you. You seek feedback from trusted people who know you well, but remember that their perspectives are guides, not gospel. Ultimately, clarity requires that you trust yourself. And trusting yourself, especially in a world that constantly questions and distracts you, is one of the bravest things you can do. So take a deep breath and ask yourself, am I willing to be brave enough to get clear? Because clarity isn't just about knowing where you're going, it's about reclaiming the power to chart your own path. When we think about the journey toward what we seek, it's easy to imagine it as a solitary path, an individual pursuit fueled by personal effort and determination. But the truth is, nothing we seek, whether it's love, success, belonging, or purpose, exists in isolation. At its core, life is built on connection. And connection is the compass that guides us toward what truly matters. We are hardwired for connection. From the moment we're born, our survival depends on relationships. Over time, this need for connection evolves beyond physical survival into something deeper, a need for emotional and spiritual alignment with others. Connection provides direction, grounding, and clarity when the path ahead feels uncertain. I think about the moments in your life when you felt most alive, most in tune with your purpose. Were you alone in those moments? Chances are those experiences were shaped by the people around you, their encouragement, collaboration, or shared joy. Connection amplifies the best parts of our journey because it reminds us we're not walking it alone. Connection as guidance. The people we surround ourselves with influence not just where we go, but how we get there. True connection acts as a compass guiding us toward opportunities, perspectives, and even truths about ourselves that we might not see otherwise. For example, a mentor might help you recognize strengths you didn't know you had. A friend's insight might shift your perspective on a challenge. A shared passion with a community might open doors to paths you hadn't considered. But connection isn't just about finding others who align with your values. It's about allowing yourself to be seen, truly seen for who you are. That kind of vulnerability is scary, but it's also liberating. When we let others see our authentic selves, our dreams, fears, and flaws, we create space for genuine relationships to form. And it's in these authentic relationships that we often find the guidance we need. Connection is fuel. Beyond guidance, connection provides energy. Let's face it, seeking what we want isn't always easy. There are setbacks, doubts, and moments of loneliness. During those times, connection becomes the fuel that keeps us going. A kind word, a shared laugh, or even just the presence of someone who believes in us can reignite our hope. Connection also reminds us that our struggles are universal. When we share our fears or failures with others, we often discover that we're not alone in feeling uncertain or overwhelmed. This shared humanity creates a sense of belonging that helps us move forward with renewed strength. Connection as a mirror. One of the most powerful aspects of connection is its ability to reflect back to us who we are and what we're capable of. Sometimes we're too close to our own struggles to see the bigger picture, but through connection, we gain perspective. The right relationships challenge us in healthy ways, pushing us to grow and holding us accountable to our goals. They help us recognize patterns in our behavior, both the ones that serve us and the ones that hold us back. This mirroring effect helps us stay aligned with what we're seeking and ensures we don't stray too far from our true selves. Cultivating connection. If connection is a compass, we have to actively nurture it. It's not enough to simply be surrounded by people. We need to foster meaningful relationships that align with our values, aspirations. Start by asking yourself, who are the people who truly see and support me? Do my current relationships reflect the kind of life I'm seeking? Am I showing up authentically in my connections, or am I holding back out of fear or insecurity? Cultivating connection requires vulnerability. It means reaching out even when it feels uncomfortable. It means investing time and energy in relationships that matter. It means being willing to let go of connections that drain or misalign with your purpose, even if it's hard. Connection and reciprocity. Finally, remember that connection is a two-way street. Just as others can guide, fuel, and reflect for us, we are someone else's compass too. By showing up authentically and generously in our relationships, we create a ripple effect. Our courage to connect inspires others to do the same, and together we move closer to the things we're all seeking. In the end, connection isn't just a tool for navigating life, it's the destination itself. The relationships we nurture, the communities we build, and the shared moments we cherish are what make the journey worthwhile. So, as you navigate your path, let connection be your compass, guiding you not only toward what you seek, but also toward the joy of being truly seen and supported along the way. When we think about the journey toward what we seek, whether it's success, love, fulfillment, or purpose, our first instinct is often to armor up. We tell ourselves that to achieve what we want, we need to be strong, confident, and invulnerable. But the truth is, the very thing we fear, vulnerability, is the key that unlocks the path. Vulnerability isn't weakness. Let's start there. Vulnerability is courage in its rawest form. It's standing in the uncertainty of life, knowing that there are no guarantees, and choosing to show up anyway. It's exposing our true selves, our dreams, fears, and flaws, despite the risk of judgment or failure. So why is vulnerability so crucial? Because what we seek is rarely found in our comfort zone. The life we long for requires us to take risks, face challenges, and open ourselves to experiences that are inherently uncertain. Vulnerability is the bridge that allows us to cross into the unknown. The fear of vulnerability. Let's be honest, vulnerability is terrifying. It means admitting that we don't have all the answers. It means asking for help when we'd rather go it alone. It means putting ourselves out there, knowing we might fail, be rejected, or even be ridiculed. But here's the paradox: the more we try to avoid vulnerability, the more stuck we become. When we shield ourselves from uncertainty, we also close ourselves off to possibility. We might avoid pain, but we also miss out on joy, connection, and growth. Think about it. How can we experience true love if we're not willing to risk heartbreak? How can we achieve a dream if we're too afraid to take the first imperfect step? How can we connect with others if we're hiding behind a mask of invincibility? Vulnerability is a gateway to growth. Vulnerability is the birthplace of everything we seek. Love, belonging, creativity, innovation, and purpose all require us to take emotional risks. When we're vulnerable, we create space for transformation. Here's why. It fosters authenticity. When we're vulnerable, we show up as our true selves. We let go of perfectionism and allow others to see us as we are, flaws and all. This authenticity is magnetic. It draws people and opportunities that align with who we truly are. It builds resilience. Vulnerability teaches us to face discomfort and uncertainty head on. Every time we step into vulnerability, we build emotional strength. We learn that even when things don't go as planned, we can survive, adapt, and grow. It invites connection. Sharing our vulnerabilities fosters deeper relationships. When we open up about our struggles and fears, we give others permission to do the same. This mutual openness creates bonds that are authentic and meaningful. It sparks creativity and innovation. Every great idea or breakthrough starts with the willingness to risk failure. Vulnerability allows us to think outside the box, try new things, and embrace the possibility of imperfection. Vulnerability isn't just about exposing yourself to the world. It's about learning to trust both yourself and others. Trusting yourself means believing that you have the strength to handle whatever comes your way, even if things don't go as planned. It means quieting the inner critic that tells you you're not good enough. Trusting others means allowing them to see your true self. It means believing that there are people who will support and accept you, even when you're at your most uncertain. This trust is the foundation of connection, collaboration, and community. Embracing vulnerability doesn't happen overnight. It's a practice, a muscle you strengthen over time. Here are some steps to start unlocking the path. Acknowledge your fears. What are you afraid of? Rejection. Failure, being judged. Naming your fears is the first step to moving through them. Start small. Vulnerability doesn't mean sharing your deepest secrets with everyone you meet. Start by being open with someone you trust, a friend, mentor, or partner. Embrace imperfection. Stop waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect version of yourself. Vulnerability means taking action even when you feel unready. Celebrate courage. Every time you choose vulnerability, no matter how small, acknowledge your bravery. It's a step forward on your path. Practice self-compassion. Vulnerability can be messy. You'll stumble, make mistakes, and sometimes feel exposed. Be kind to yourself through the process. The rewards of vulnerability. When we dare to be vulnerable, something extraordinary happens. We discover that the things we feared, rejection, failure, judgment, are rarely as catastrophic as we imagined. Instead, we find deeper connections, unexpected opportunities, and a sense of freedom that comes from living authentically. We also learn that vulnerability isn't about the outcome, it's about the act of showing up. Whether we succeed or stumble, every step into vulnerability is a step toward growth, courage, and alignment with what we truly seek. A final thought. Imagine standing at the edge of a path, unsure of what lies ahead. Vulnerability is the key that unlocks the gate. It's the willingness to step forward even if your hands are shaking and your heart is pounding. The path won't always be smooth, but it will be worth it. Because vulnerability isn't just about what you risk, it's about what you gain a life that feels true, connected, and deeply aligned with who you are. There's a phrase we often hear when life feels uncertain or overwhelming: trust the process. It sounds simple, almost cliche, but behind these 3 words lies a profound truth about growth, resilience, and transformation. Trusting the process means surrendering to the journey, even when the outcome is unclear. It's about having faith that every step, every success, setback, and moment of uncertainty is shaping us into the person we are meant to be and bringing us closer to what we seek. But let's be real, trusting the process is hard. We live in a world that craves control, quick fixes, and instant results. When things don't happen on our timeline or when the road gets bumpy, it's tempting to lose faith, to believe that we're on the wrong path or that we're not enough. Trusting the process requires patience, humility, and an open heart, all of which can feel uncomfortable, especially when life isn't going as planned. Why is trusting the process important? When we trust the process, we release the need for constant control. We stop obsessing over outcomes and instead focus on what we can do in the present moment. Here's why that's essential. Growth takes time. Transformation doesn't happen overnight. Whether you're learning a new skill, healing from a setback, or pursuing a dream, growth is a gradual process. Trusting the process means accepting that there are no shortcuts. Real change takes time, effort, and persistence. Uncertainty is part of the journey. The path to what we seek is rarely linear. There will be twists, turns, and unexpected detours. Trusting the process means embracing uncertainty. Knowing that even the challenges and delays are part of your journey. Often, what feels like a setback is actually setting the stage for something greater. We can't see the full picture. In the moment, it's hard to understand why things happen the way they do, but hindsight often reveals how every experience, good or bad, played a role in shaping our journey. Trusting the process means believing that even when you can't see the full picture, there's a purpose to every step. The challenges of trusting the process. Let's acknowledge the elephant in the room. Trusting the process isn't easy. It requires stepping into the unknown and letting go of control, 2 things that our brains are wired to resist. Here are some common challenges and how to navigate them. Impatience. When we're working toward a goal, it's natural to want results now. But impatience can lead to frustration and even giving up. To combat this, remind yourself that small, consistent actions compound over time. Celebrate progress, no matter how small, and keep your eyes on the long game. Fear of failure. What if it doesn't work out? What if I've been wasting my time? These fears are normal, but they often stem from focusing too much on the end result. Trusting the process means valuing the journey itself, what you're learning, who you're becoming, and how you're growing along the way. Self-doubt. Doubt. When progress feels slow, it's easy to question whether you're on the right path. In those moments, trust your intuition. Ask yourself, am I taking steps that align with my values and goals? If the answer is yes, then keep going. Progress isn't always visible, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. Practical ways to trust the process. Focus on the present. The process unfolds one moment at a time. Instead of worrying about the future or dwelling on the past, ask yourself, what can I do right now to move closer to my goal? By focusing on the present, you stay grounded and take meaningful steps forward. Practice patience. Patience is a muscle you can strengthen. When you feel restless or frustrated, remind yourself that good things take time. Reflect on past experiences where patience paid off and trust that this time will be no different. Celebrate small wins. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. Celebrate your progress along the way. It's these small wins that keep you motivated and remind you that the process is working. Reframe setbacks. Instead of seeing challenges as failures, view them as opportunities to learn and grow. Every obstacle teaches you something valuable, whether it's resilience, creativity, or a new perspective. Lean on faith or mindset. Whether you draw strength from spirituality, mindfulness, or a growth mindset, find something that helps you anchor your belief in the process. This can be a mantra, meditation, or simply a reminder that you're capable of overcoming challenges. Stay open to detours. Sometimes the path you envision isn't the path you end up taking, and that's okay. Trusting the process means staying open to new possibilities and embracing unexpected opportunities. Often, what we seek arrives in ways we never anticipated. The beauty of the process. When you trust the process, you begin to see the journey in a new light. You realize that every step, every challenge, every triumph, every moment of doubt is shaping you. The process isn't just about achieving a goal. It's about becoming the person you're meant to be. The process teaches you resilience, patience, and self-belief. It reminds you to find joy in the journey, to appreciate the growth that happens along the way, and to trust that even when things feel uncertain, you're exactly where you need to be. A final thought. Trusting the process doesn't mean sitting back and waiting for life to happen. It means showing up, doing the work, and believing that your efforts will bear fruit, even if the results take time. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. Because when you trust the process, you stop obsessing over the destination and start embracing the beauty of the journey itself. And in the end, that's where the magic happens, not in reaching what you seek, but in discovering who you become along the way. Trust the process is more than a motivational catchphrase. It's a philosophy for navigating life's complexities. It invites us to embrace uncertainty, have faith in our efforts, and believe that the journey, no matter how challenging or unclear, is leading us to where we are meant to be. Trusting the process requires patience, resilience, and a willingness to let go of control. And while it may sound simple, it is often one of the hardest lessons to embody. At its core, trusting the process is about surrendering to the idea that growth and transformation are not linear. Progress isn't always visible, and the path to success, fulfillment, or healing is rarely a straight line. Yet, in the face of obstacles, setbacks, and delays, trusting the process reminds us that each step, even the difficult ones, has value and meaning. Why trusting the process matters. Growth is gradual. Real, meaningful change doesn't happen overnight. Whether you're working toward a personal goal, building a relationship, or overcoming a challenge, growth requires time, effort, and perseverance. Trusting the process means understanding that every small step adds up, even when progress feels invisible. Just as a seed takes time to grow into a tree, our dreams and goals need nurturing, patience, and consistent effort. Uncertainty is inevitable. Life is unpredictable, and no amount of planning can eliminate uncertainty. Trusting the process is about embracing the unknown, knowing that it's a natural part of the journey. It means recognizing that detours and obstacles are not signs of failure, but opportunities to learn, adapt, and grow. Lessons are everywhere. Sometimes what feels like a setback is actually a stepping stone. Trusting the process allows us to reframe challenges as opportunities for growth. Each experience, whether it's a triumph or a struggle, teaches us something valuable, shaping us into the person we're meant to become. The big picture is hidden. In the moment, it's easy to feel stuck or frustrated, especially when things aren't going as planned. But often, we can't see the bigger picture until we look back. Trusting the process means believing that even when the path seems unclear, every step is part of a larger story, one that will make sense in hindsight. The challenges of trusting the process. The need for control. We live in a society that values control and predictability. Letting go of control feels uncomfortable because it forces us to confront uncertainty. However, trusting the process isn't about abandoning responsibility. It's about focusing on what we can control: our actions, mindset, and perseverance, while releasing the need to micromanage every outcome. In a world of instant gratification, waiting for results can feel unbearable. Trusting the process requires patience, which is challenging when progress feels slow. But remember, great things take time. I think of an artist creating a masterpiece that's not rushed, and every stroke, no matter how small, contributes to the final vision. What if the process doesn't lead to success? This fear can paralyze us, making it hard to trust the journey. But failure is not the opposite of success, it's a vital part of it. Each setback teaches us resilience, sharpens our skills, and brings us closer to our goals. When the path is long and unclear, self-doubt creeps in. Am I on the right track? Am I doing enough? Trusting the process means quieting these doubts and believing in the work you've put in. Remember, progress isn't always obvious, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. Trusting the process doesn't mean passivity. It means taking consistent, intentional action toward your goals while letting go of the need to control the outcome. Focus on the small steps you can take today and trust that they will add up over time. Patience is a practice. When you feel restless or frustrated, remind yourself that growth and success take time. Reflect on past experiences where patience paid off, and trust that the same will happen again. Instead of viewing setbacks as facts, as failures, see them as opportunities to learn and grow. Ask yourself, what is this experience teaching me? Trust that even the difficult moments are part of your journey. Progress is often incremental. Celebrate each small step forward, no matter how insignificant it might seem. These small victories are proof that the process is working. The process unfolds moment by moment. Worrying about the future or dwelling on the past distracts you from what you can do in the present. Stay grounded in the here and now and trust that each moment is bringing you closer to your goal. Whether it's a spiritual belief, a mantra, or simply a mindset of optimism, find something that helps you anchor your trust in the process. Remind yourself that uncertainty is temporary and that the journey will make sense in time. When we trust the process, we begin to see the journey in a new light. We realize that it's not just about reaching a destination, it's about who we become along the way. Every challenge strengthens our resilience. Every small step builds our confidence. Every detour teaches us flexibility and creativity. Trusting the process also allows us to find joy in the present. Instead of obsessing over the outcome, we learn to appreciate the beauty of the journey itself. We notice the lessons we're learning, the relationships we're building, and the ways we're growing. A final thought. Trusting the process isn't about blind faith, it's about believing in yourself and the work you're putting in. It's about understanding that growth takes time, and that every step, no matter how small or difficult, is part of your story. So when the road feels long, when progress feels slow, or when the outcome is uncertain, take a deep breath and remind yourself, trust the process. You're exactly where you need to be, and the journey is shaping you into the person you're meant to become. The path may not always be clear, but if you keep moving forward with faith, you'll discover that it was leading you to something even greater than you imagined. As we close, let me leave you with this thought. Trusting the process isn't just about reaching a goal. It's about embracing the journey that gets you there. It's about finding courage in uncertainty, patience in delay, and resilience in challenges. Remember, the seeds you plant today may not bloom tomorrow, but with time, care, and trust, they will grow into something beautiful. So keep showing up. Keep taking those small steps forward, even when the road feels unclear. Because every twist, every turn, and every step, no matter how uncertain, is part of your unfolding story. Trust that the process is working, even when you can't see it, because the best things in life often come not when we rush the journey, but when we honor it. Trust the process and trust yourself. You are exactly where you need to be.